Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming back today. As promised yesterday, I said that we'd be back as soon as we had some other information that we could release. So here we are. Since yesterday's press conference, we've learned a lot more specifics of the incidents that we're prepared to release at this time. I also want to say that we as an agency and our community are just beginning the grieving process. So we need to keep that focus for now. There's going to be a lot of discussion on some other issues that will come up during some of the statements I have to make, but we're going to have those conversations later. At the end, I will answer a few questions. In the early hours of yesterday, El Dorado County resident Christopher Ross, living at 4740 Sand Ridge Road in Somerset area, called 911 to report a theft of marijuana from his marijuana garden located near his house. What he failed to report was that he had a business arrangement with the persons growing marijuana on his property. Deputy Ishmael and his ride-along, the off-duty San Joaquin deputy, were the first to arrive, and they met with Ross, who told them that the persons in his marijuana garden were stealing it. By then, other deputies had also arrived on scene. Deputy Ishmael and his ride-along went to the rear of the residence, near the large marijuana garden consisting of approximately 75 marijuana plants, where they announced their presence and asked whoever was in the garden to show themselves. And at that time, they were immediately confronted with gunfire. Deputy Ishmael and his ride-along both returned fire. Deputy Ishmael was struck 2 times, once in the upper chest above his bulletproof vest, and the other in a foot. His ride-along was also struck in his upper thigh. Deputy Ishmael succumbed to his injuries within minutes at the scene. Deputies on the scene and other deputies arriving set up a perimeter, and over the next couple hours, SWAT and other deputies, with the assistance of CHP Air Resources and other allied agencies, apprehended 2 individuals near the garden site. At this time, we don't believe there are any other suspects outstanding in the area. One of the suspects, Juan Vasquez, a Mexican national from Nayarit, Mexico, was transported to Sutter Roseville Hospital, where he underwent surgery for gunshots that he sustained in the firefight. Vasquez is pending release from the hospital as we meet here today and has been cleared for incarceration. He is under arrest and will be transported and booked soon for murder and assault with a deadly weapon. The other suspect, Ramiro Morales, also a Mexican national from Jalisco, was arrested and booked for aiding in the commission of a felony. The resident, Christopher Ross, has been arrested and booked for manslaughter. At this point, I'm not going to provide any further information regarding this arrest other than, had he been truthful with our deputies and the 911 dispatcher, this tragic event would not have occurred. At this point, the FBI's emergency response team is in the area assisting us with continuation of processing the crime scene. Also, conversations are being held with the U.S. Attorney's Office regarding the possibility of federal adoption of the case and prosecution of the suspects. And shortly, Sergeant Principe will have booking photos available for all of you. And I'd like to finish up with, again, stating, please, respect what the agency's going through, what our staff are going through, what the family is going through. A lot of the conversations that I'm sure want to be had will be had, but at a later time. Any questions?
Sheriff, first of all, we're all very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
You mentioned that the 2 individuals in custody are Mexican nationals. Just to be clear, are they illegal immigrants to this country, and how long have they been living here?
They've been here for some time, that I can tell you. Actual time span, I don't remember, I don't recall. It was given to me yesterday. They are Mexican nationals. That is what I have been told when I asked the question, confirmed, are they illegal? They said they are Mexican nationals. That's the only information I have. As you know, Senate Bill 54 prohibits me from contacting ICE and asking any questions or anything further along those lines.
Sir, you mentioned Ross had been charged with manslaughter. Is this being considered involuntary manslaughter? And if so, how does a charge like that come about, and how is somebody issued with that charge?
His actions directly related to this incident. That's how they related to this charge. And regarding any further questions along that line, I would refer you to the El Dorado County District Attorney's Office.
Do we know what kind of weapon was used in the attack?
A handgun, caliber unknown at this time.
Christopher Ross, did he live at that home? If so, how long did he live there? Were there other people that lived at that home?
As far as I know, he's the only occupant of that residence. He has lived there for some time.
And I'd like to touch on just the department. We know when an deputy loses his life, it impacts the entire department. I'd like to hear just how you guys are doing here at the department.
Well, thank you very much for that question. We're doing as best as can be expected. This is tough for anybody. Law enforcement is a very tight family. We have to be to survive this profession. And it's everybody, not just the deputies on the streets, but the dispatchers who take the call, the fiscal staff in the back that make payroll, the support staff that help us every day. It's a big family. So when we lose one, it's like losing a brother, a son.
Sure. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if you were done.
I wasn't.
I'm sorry, sir. I apologize.
So it's tough, but we're going to get through it, and we're going to come out the other end stronger. Thank you for asking that. Yes, sir.
My apologies once again, sir. What kind of threats do these grows pose to the community and also law enforcement like yourselves?
Well, again, I'd like to say that this is a conversation that we're going to have here in the future, but I will say at this time that there's a lot of violence that surrounds these gardens, and we're seeing a perfect example of it right now. To say this is just medicine and does no harm, and that the California laws that have been passed are going to be able to adequately prepare us and deal with this situation is a fallacy. This has been here forever, it will be here forever, and these issues that come along with it will never leave. I'd like to leave it at that for now. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any more information as to why the off-duty San Joaquin deputy was with Deputy Ishmael?
He had, I don't want to, this is his personal decision that he wanted to come here on a ride-along to check out our agency and see how we operated, how we did things, and we welcome that. We welcome anybody from any other agency for whatever reason they're here.
So you all were aware that he was with him?
Oh, yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Thank you.
Sheriff,
Yes, ma'am.
Were you aware of any prior criminal histories from the two Mexican national men?
No, ma'am.
Sheriff, you mentioned there was a business arrangement between these two individuals and Christopher Ross. Do you have a sense of the extent of the operation? Was it growing? Was it distribution? Was it trafficking? How big was it?
Without going into specifics for the case prosecution and due process, I will say that it was a business arrangement for the leasing of the land to grow the marijuana on. I'll leave it at that.
Sir, would you say that there is a bigger problem, a link between the legalization of marijuana and these grows?
I'm not prepared to answer that at this time. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Sergeant Principe. He can answer any further questions that you have. We'll get you those booking photos as soon as we can. As I mentioned, Mr. Vasquez, he is not here yet, so we don't have those booking photos, but he will be shortly. Thank you very much, and thank you for respecting our what we're going through. It means a lot. Thank you.
As the sheriff said, and that was a statement we have to give. If you have a few more questions, I want you guys to understand that with a lot of things, especially these regarding the investigation. It's important for us to make sure the investigation is solid and that we actually can make a prosecutable case. And a lot of that is involved in not providing some details, and that's why we're doing it. Once details become available that we can release, we'll release them. I think we have a pretty good track record of doing so. So have any other final questions?
You, as far as Christopher Ross, has he bailed out, and if so, do you know where he is?
I do not know that right now.
Does he have a court date yet?
I'd have to look that up. That isn't something that I looked up prior to this, no.
The two booking photos, is there an estimated time that you guys may be sharing that, just for a time?
So, yeah, as soon as we get done here, I'm going to go and I want to put onto paper what was just said. That way it's available for everybody, and I will put the two booking photos available then. The third, as soon as he is transported and booked, I will get that released, and I will probably end up updating the press release that has the other two photos. Sir?
I don't know if this was asked before, I might have missed it, but there was talk of there being other suspects involved in this case. Is there any knowledge of any other suspects, or is it still ongoing?
As the sheriff said, we believe that we have everybody that was available, or that was in this location.
And in terms of the stage of the investigation, in particular, what's going on at the scene of the crime, can you describe a little bit what's actively being done to process that?
I can give a little bit. I mean, we're talking a homicide investigation that spanned over a large area. These people were moving around. It was a big area. So we have a number of agencies that are assisting us, including the FBI and their evidence team. I don't know their exact name of that. In order to actually find evidence, locate it, and do everything a proper way. This is emotional for everybody that's here. So in order to create a prosecutable case, we're making sure we take every step necessary to do that. There's a lot of people helping us out to make sure that it is just done the way that we always do things.
Sir, what's the crime rate like linked to these types of grows? Obviously, it's a big
As the sheriff said, right now we as an agency, I want to focus on Brian, his sacrifice, his family, our family, and the community. We're not getting into this, and that information will come out. It's not today.
As far as the grow, is it safe to say that it was an illegal marijuana grow operation?
Yes. Anything else?
What was the ICE squad that the sheriff cited earlier?
I can give you the Senate bill for that if you're interested. I don't have it on me. There's a lot of Senate bills, but I can get that for you. Okay, thank you all.